Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders. Thanks to Sportsbet. I'm Roy. I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Warn Dogs.
And Calvin.
Coach of Calvinator.
Boy, yoy, yoy.
I know.
What a week.
Didn't
Round
that
18.
become a scramble?
It was nuts. So, end of last week, we started copying all the bullets.
Who?
Probably the biggest carnage week of the round. Who? Yes, you.
We copped all the bullets.
Sucked in.
It felt like the buys.
You
I
deserved
did.
it, V8.
Scrambling.
Anyway, so, yeah, what was it? You had Nank suspended early on. Well, in order of the games, pretty much. Nank was out. Lloyd was out as well. Hayden Young.
Yep.
Caleb Sarong.
Yep.
So Sarong with a 1 week suspension. Darcy Cameron, the saga that was, that the live tweeting of that was amazing.
That was elite.
Watching.
Yeah. There were votes up
He's
on
out on the
coaster.
track. Oh, he's going for some run-throughs, and then he's on the golf cart. Back
Here
to
comes the
club
golf cart.
That was an extreme finish,
It was.
wasn't it?
Sheldrick was out. Tom Green was another bit of a saga.
Yep.
We got a bit of a squirt on that on for a Thursday night, but it was too late for some coaches.
Oh, it was.
But yes, so that's where we ended up.
Another breaking news story by Team Awesome Source.
It
though.
was.
Very good at
Yep.
what they do.
Beat the journos by a good 12 hours.
Yep. It's not unusual, Roy.
It's not, is it?
No.
Team Awesome. Well done, team.
Yep.
Well done.
So it was carnage, but scores weren't too bad, realistically, when you look at across the board and seeing that, 2300s was about the norm, I would say, for a lot of coaches there. So epic effort if you were there and you got through that, because I guess we did have a few players that stepped up in absence. Some didn't, but depth was definitely tested this week, and the trades that you made were important. But we'll start with Roy with your score for round 18.
What did I get? 23-44.
That's a bit you talk about.
So solid enough. When I get inside the top 2,500, I'm going to say I am sitting respectably.
Okay.
So that's where I'm aiming for, and I'll be in there probably after this week.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
You're 45 points ahead of me. 22.99 for the Warn Dogs. Nearly got myself a 2,300. But I moved up slightly in the rankings, so just outside the top 12,000 and only about 70 points behind Team Calvinator now.
You're going to need to be a little bit closer than that, mate, because I held Sarong and Darcy Cameron as a result of the bullets that I copped this week. I played four rookies on field, just to save myself a donut. I wobbled my way to 22.40, and I slid slightly off the ranking a little bit there, but I don't think you're going to get me, dog.
I will catch you this week.
It's a great little competition within the competition at the moment.
Some say bigger than the car itself.
I reckon.
That's what you did, Teddy. You stuck it right up them.
All right, V8, we talked about your rookies on field.
4 rookies on field this week.
But
Hey, Windhager.
Wow.
He stepped up all right. So he got a nice little neat ton, Roy.
100 from Windy.
Now, my others were 40s.
Yeah.
They weren't much chop at all.
No.
But Windy definitely saved the day. And a few people, had him on the bench. Didn't even want to play him until...
because I didn't need to.
See? Cheating over here. Popped up with a little ton. Oh, okay, I'll take that. A little switcheroo around.
Gentleman's agreement.
Gentleman's
Did you take your
Window.
VC? Did you take your VC this week?
Yeah, that's different.
No.
It's a different set of rules. So, anyway, 100 for Windy would have saved a lot of people a few extra points.
Yes.
Well, mine goes to a rookie as well, as you like to call him, although I call him a premium. Sheezel.
Oh, yeah, she's.
He
She's whiz.
Ooh.
He was very good.
He was very good.
Again.
He dominated, obviously. 112 points he ended up having, so it was a nice return. Now, he did start in a blaze of glory, so his quarter splits were pretty epic. 38,
Yeah.
37, had 31 in the last, had 6 in the third.
And why did he have 6?
Well, there's a bit of tag going on.
yeah,
We'll talk
there
about
is.
that a little bit later, but that's an issue. But, yeah, Harry Sheezel, I think anyone that traded him out made a
Yeah, we might readdress this later on.
100%.
Yes.
I might get him back at some stage, I reckon.
Some stage.
It's too good.
Try
That's
this
right.
week.
Roy,
Yeah.
was your +3?
Mine was Jack Steele.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
Not because of a thumping score, because it was probably below expectation, especially on debut, but it was for his response to...
Oh, boom. Yeah. It was a rocket air.
Where's
Quarter
your
time.
rocket sound effect, Cow? You haven't made it yet.
Yeah, I'm still working on it. We need
Just
to...
give us a live one now.
Which one? A skyrocket? I'll do one of those ones. So how did you shoot it, Roy?
So
Yep.
that one.
Yeah,
So
load it up.
I loaded it up,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
hit him at quarter time, didn't
did,
it?
yeah.
So he was on 11.
Yeah,
11 at
11.
quarter time, and we were jumping between flights.
Yeah.
Had to quickly fire one out and
Yep.
hope that it hit, and we landed and we saw it got him square.
Too right, it got him square.
Bang.
Too
Good
right.
recovery. One.
It was the most disgraceful display I've ever seen.
Because it's just not acceptable.
Me, I will go first.
Oh, wow.
Will you?
Right, the dog. The sick dog of the sickest variety I could ever.
Sick.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
We all know, we all know with the sick dog, you've got to take the good with the bad.
Yes.
Okay, and I've said that for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
We know he gets suspended. He's coming off those massive scores.
Yes.
He scored 65. Who would have thought in the first quarter, he's on 7. And I'm going to say lucky to be on 7. He had a tackle. Sick dog don't tackle.
No.
He had one tackle and took a kick out. That's it.
The whole quarter.
Quarter work done. Well done, mate. Yeah, great work.
Captain's a quarter.
Then he has a 16. So he's on 23 at the half. He then scores 9 more, right? 9 more because of Eddie Ford. And you're like, who the hell's Eddie Ford? Is that kind of a type of car? No, Roy. It's a human. Because Edward was tagging him.
Yeah, owning him.
So the ball was coming into the North Melbourne 50-metre arc, right?
Yeah.
Eddie's not watching the ball. You're a forward, mate. Nearly hit him in the back of the head like 3 times because he's too busy watching his dog.
Eddie was counting his stats.
Eddie should have been counting his
I
stats.
like it.
Look, the dog needed a wake-up call. And he got it. But in the last quarter, because North Melbourne this is where the scale gets interrupted by these Eddie
Yes.
Ford taggers, right?
Yes.
The tag goes away in the last quarter there, and a sick dog comes out with a 33.
Yes.
Now, that's what the dog should have been doing. Just barking
4
around.
lots of 33.
Yeah, 126, is it?
Bit more than that.
Something like that, I don't know. Too early.
It was just so easy in the last for him, which it could have easily looked like that the whole game.
Yeah. So and that's what it should have been. But the dog, a lot of people bought him in. I think he was one of the second most traded in or third most traded in.
I think he's second. In the end.
So the dog gets the -3, and the dog needs to bounce back this week with everyone that bought him in with the
he does.
green scale coming up.
Yeah.
It legit starts this week with some dark green teams.
Right.
Well, maybe I shouldn't complain about my bloke that I brought in, who got 2 points more. Caleb Daniel, honestly.
Yeah, that's not good. And that was done
Small
early.
potato, the little
Yeah.
helmeted thing was...
You put him on your never again list back then.
He has been
Broken
never
it.
again list when he had that 20 at Ballarat that day.
Yeah, and
This
rubbed
felt
out.
just as bad because that first week, you just want something from them. And it was shocking. First game of the round, this is the biggest issue about it, is because I locked my trades in on the Thursday night prior to knowing about Tom Green.
Yep.
And therefore, if I had have known about Tom Green, I was able to do a bit of a reverse or edit trade action to get him out instead of Johnson to play him. So I had a full team and all that sort of stuff. But Caleb Daniel coming in, that could have been anyone else. Probably would have been sick dog, to be honest.
Ooh.
So I probably shouldn't complain too much because we got 2 more points.
His lowest
but
score of the year, wasn't it?
So you don't want that.
terrible.
You don't want to bring a guy in for their season low.
Instant reward.
Yeah. All right, Roy. Who are you firing it at?
Oh, soft as Butters.
Yeah, what did you see out the whole last quarter?
Yeah, he got crippered right at the start of the fourth quarter. He wants to be in there with the big boys. You've got to stand up.
Yep.
Cripper said, don't come in here, mate. Bang!
Yeah, right.
And he just sat off sulking the whole last quarter.
Yeah, a bit bruised, a bit sore, was he?
Yeah, so they said managed. Some say groin. Some say crippinated. I say Crippinated.
Crippinated.
Yep.
There you go.
All right, some big scores were posted across the weekend. I think the winning score was a massive one with a... Oh, where are you? Where are you? There it is.
Don't say 25 or 26.
Yeah, 25-38, Cal. So
goodness.
that was Bill's team there. That,
Job, Bill.
dominated with that one. You know, took a Tim English VC on a 140, who was the right answer, Cal, not Errol. You didn't get your order right on that one.
Errol was leading all scorers with a quarter to go. I can't do it all. I'm
not sure why he went missing like that.
He just went missing in the
So
last.
a team like this, let me throw you a couple of names out there. Oh, good ones, yeah. The Bont 140, you're happy with that. Dacos, a 130, Jordan Dawson, all normal names there. Ollie Florent, 103.
Love it.
Love it. Up in there. James Warple still in the team, 127.
Oh, if you don't mind.
But then, on the negative end, that would have been the last score. Josh Rochelle, 45.
Oh.
Jeez, he carried a 45.
Carried a 45.
Amazing. And looking at the overall leaderboard at the moment, so sitting on top is still Jonathan's team, the Fleabaggers. They scored a 23-35 for the week. So it is pretty tight at the top there. It's only 19 points between Fleabaggers and Wise Ocean Pods, Darren's team there. So, doing pretty well. It's a
nerve-wracking.
It's going to be a very big finish to the year, I think, as we saw. And if you want to check in to see, can you win a hat? 39,732 points. That's Blood Park Hounds, Josh's team there. I don't even want to do the maths on that.
No, you don't need to because there's more important things than a hat.
Are there?
Yeah, you. Defeating you is more important than a hat in my eyes.
Do you know someone who is going to defeat us?
Who?
Our boss. Oh, Dayan.
Ah, yes, he's doing all right, isn't he?
376th overall. Now, having flashbacks because our former editor, boss, who does have to work pretty hard because he has to edit your articles, Cal.
Oh, there's a lot to edit.
So, Suts has got a hat.
Yeah.
When Suts had us,
Yeah.
had a hat. So we must be doing something, or are they just going against the things that we say?
No, they're not.
They read our stuff.
They get to probably hear it twice.
Yeah, there you
Read
go.
it twice.
There you go.
That's why they're twice as good.
Must be. Round 18 votes for the Michael Barlow medal, the cash cow of the year. And for the 10th time this year, it's Harry Sheezel with the 5 votes. Another handy ton to his name in what has been an epic fantasy season. He is a keeper for me.
Yes, and Warren, you're still rocking with Will Ashcroft. Got the 4 votes for his 82. I know you love that sausage roll on Friday night.
Corey Wagner, my old mate. He was a member of my team for 2 games before being dropped, and he's back in Frio's team now and tackled his way to 81 and 3 votes.
Our popular option to play on field with all the Carnage was Matt Johnson. He scored 68 to grab the 2 votes.
And 1 vote goes to the father-son recruit, Jasper Fletcher, for his 65. Look, this guy can play, love his work, and that goal that he kicked against the D's was awesome.
Now, the 2 big boys at the top continue their merry way with Sheezel now on 62 votes, while Ashcroft has 42. Could Matt Johnson make a late-season charge to finish with a respectable 3rd? Time will tell with just 6 rounds to go.
Here's the news of the week you need to know on the official AFL Fantasy podcast.
All right, so we had plenty of carnage prior to the round, and we've got a few things happening throughout the round as well. Right. So one of those was on Saturday afternoon in Sean Darcy, the big fella. Went down with an ankle. He was dominating too. He had 74 from 43.
He was on.
Time on ground.
God, he's come back in good
doing
form.
what he does. He got it again. A nice matchup. No Sean Darcy in that game, so he was able to get another one. I'd like to do the stats on that this year. His average for next year, you're going to say he's overpriced next year because he had all of these soft matchups this year?
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
If he wasn't injured, he had another ripper coming up to next week.
A ruckless Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were ready for him.
So that is, one to watch there. Luke Jackson could be a solid option for some coaches if they're looking at that. Now, Zak Butters was sat on the bench, Roy, as you mentioned there. So it sounds like it was a bit of a groin issue, a bit of soreness. So it's a watch, I guess, to see. Could he be rested?
Well, no,
Or was he rested?
I reckon he was rested because the game was done. As I flagged early last week, they were going to get hammered by the Blues.
Oh, yeah,
and they
that's
did.
right. Yeah, you did.
And they did. And there was no... I have read some things on it. So he has had an extremely big workload for a guy that's been hampered by injury so much in his career. And they've got a blockbuster coming up at home
Saturday night
this week. So there was no point running him into the ground.
Yep.
Despite sitting that full last quarter, he still nearly hit 70% game time.
Okay.
So he had been out there a fair bit.
Yep.
So I reckon just resting up for what should be a wicked game this
Against
week.
the Pies.
Yeah.
You had a bit of a panic on Saturday night, Cow, with Rory Laird.
I panic every Saturday night.
So what was the go with that?
It was
Bit of a
bloody
shoulder.
justified.
So it was
panic.
a shoulder. He came off. He was very, what's the word, proppy, sort of giving it a bit of a workout.
They gave close-up of the assessment.
He was flinching when they touched it.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, he went back on.
They went
Came
right
back
along
on.
his collarbone.
Yep.
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Ouch.
And then at the joint, really ouch.
Like flinching.
Into the rooms.
Yep.
I didn't think we were going to see him again.
Neither did I. They must have done a bone relocation.
Yes.
Fixed it up.
Thankfully.
So I don't know what it was or
jab.
what they
That's
jabbed
what it
him
was,
with.
yeah.
But he was right to go after that.
Yeah, and he was good after that.
He was
too.
good.
Yeah, he must have come home pretty well with that one there because Rory Laird had 46 points in the last quarter.
Yep.
Gee, whatever they jabbed him with.
Yeah.
Jabbed him to sick dog.
Yeah.
Give him that this week as well.
Yeah,
Too
he was
right.
very good.
George Wardlaw, hamstring tightness. He was subbed off in the second. Was going all right too. So that's annoying for anyone that needed him as cover this week. His price is basically maxed out now, as you'll see. Another rookie there that may have been needed, but most people have moved him, is Ruben Ginbey. So the boy, he has been subbed off. He was subbed off in the first quarter with a hammy. So, but just a little side note to that, Calvin, your mate Gaffey, who was named as sub, basically dropped down to sub, came on, obviously pretty early, 88.
Okay, I'm going to get to my trades later. But look, I'm just going to say, needs to be considered.
Now, Darcy Byrne-Jones was out with concussion, so there's one out for next week for Port Adelaide. After they made all those changes as well, that was did they get ahead of themselves?
Yeah,
I think
they did.
Yeah, I think they did,
This
right?
is
Any-
season derailing, what they've done.
Jeez.
Any news on Harry Mackay? Bit of a knee.
Yeah,
Sub.
extended 6 weeks.
Right.
Type jazz. Yeah.
right.
Brandon Walker, apparently dislocated kneecap there for him. Now, the subs were all on. There was a fair bit going on. I don't know if this is a bit of the time of the season as well for it with some of these players. So Pendles was tactically subbed out for 68. But Tom Mitchell, who was managed, that's what they called him, was the sub, then came on for 60 in less than half a game.
Yep.
Another one was like Dangerfield as well. He was subbed out of the game.
Yeah.
So we might see this, especially if games are over.
I'll tell you what,
Yes.
it'd be bloody stressful if you're in the top 10
Yes.
and there's people getting tactically rested.
Yeah.
So this is where they're all older blokes doing that.
Oh.
So that might be, you don't want to get anyone.
I might not get Gaffey.
Plus
He
Plus-
might get rested.
27.
Especially
Okay.
if they're in finals contention.
Yeah.
And then the other one is we've got Tags, Cow. They're back.
Yes. Right.
Tags are back.
They're growing by the week. People they're starting to use them more and more because they're so effective. Now, North Melbourne, they've got that gun tagger Eddie Ford, right? There's
So
no
we'll get some forward tags, I reckon, won't we?
Look, he's not going to do that again. He just hates sick dogs. So that was fine. They've also got Liam Shields as well, who does some roles. Now, they play St Kilda this week.
Right.
I can't see much going on there. Maybe Liam Shields goes to a Sinclair or something like that. I can't see it. Now, the big one is McGuinness.
Right.
He is by far the nastiest, brutal, old school tagger.
Crowley like.
Yeah, he's in that group.
Yeah.
So he started with Taron Thomas and then went to Sheezel. Because Sheezel started with 20 touches or something in the first
Yeah,
half.
huge.
Holds him to 9 or 10 in the last. So that's a problem. But the thing is with him, he tends to go to the outside players rather than the guys inside. So like not your LDUs.
Yeah.
So this week they play Richmond. So based on that, you would think that Taranto, who's more of an inside player, might avoid the McGuinness tag, whereas it might go to like a Bolton. So it still needs to be calculated into my captaining formula, though, Roy.
Yes.
Geelong used O'Connor after Merritt got off to that hot start. So he had 34 points in the first quarter.
Firing.
Geelong.
I times that by 4.
Yeah, you
I
could
reckon
have.
You would have.
You didn't want to times the next lot, though, because he only ended up on 80.
Unheard of.
Now, they play Brisbane this week. That is Geelong. So, straight up, you think Lachie Neale's in trouble here.
Again, he always does.
Yeah, the thing is, though, I don't reckon they'll start with it. They'll do like what happened to Merritt, where they'll just play it as normal, and if he gets off the hook...
Yeah.
So Dunkley should be back this week as well.
Yeah, but you're not tagging Dunkley, are
No,
you?
but I'm just saying
Yeah,
it
yeah.
changes that midfield mix.
Yep, 100%.
And if he's playing defensive stuff as well. But
Port Adelaide used Willem Drew and Jackson Mead for speed, a couple of roles in the Carlton game. Now, they play Collingwood this week. I'd challenge any of those two to try to run with Dacos.
Well, good luck.
Good luck to you.
I'd love to see him try.
We've also got Windhager. So he put some time into Noah Anderson, who only had an 85. Now, they play the Kangaroos. So maybe being a bit of an inside player there, that could be a bit of an LDU.
Yeah, well, you.
Now, I don't want to call an LDU tag because people reckon I called it last week and it didn't happen. He pumps
you
out.
did.
Well, no, I flagged it. You can flag.
Yeah, you flag.
I flag it. So that's my job.
It'd be a dag not to flag.
Too right you would. And the other one there is free. I've got Aish as well, who they sometimes use as a tagger.
Yeah.
They play Sydney this week. I don't think they'll do it. They didn't do it against Collingwood, but I don't think there was probably a match-up for him against Collingwood to run with.
No, he did line up against Dacos.
Oh, he tried, did he?
He stood next
Oh,
to him.
bless his cotton socks.
It lasted 2 seconds.
Yeah, sorry.
When Nick went,
Coach.
So why are they back? Why are tags back?
I think we're starting to see them work. And people also in the media, like Kane Corns is very vocal on taggers coming in and doing it. Like, why wouldn't
Because
you?
he was one.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you do it? If you can shut down gun players like Sick Dog
yeah.
with a brum brum heading forward.
Did it affect it?
You're funny
The
because
score, though? No.
Hey?
Did that affect the score? The ball wasn't down there for Sick Dog much anyway.
Well, it's hard to say if it affected, because I was watching that game and I'm like, well, brum brum Eddie Ford, you're doing one job here and that's working, but you're also getting smacked up here. You're supposed to be a forward.
Yeah.
You're playing, get that? You're supposed to be a forward, but he's playing in defence. So at what point do they change this? Now, they threw it all out in the last quarter.
it's Sicily's a far more influential player than forward on
Yes.
any given day. So
Yeah.
you sacrifice forward and you take out Sicily with it.
Yep.
That's a good move every day of the week.
Yep. So, yeah, it's a thing that will just keep happening. I reckon a lot of teams with these taggers will use them when things start not going the way they thought. Like a Merritt one last week, because O'Connor doesn't always tag. So he's come out and he's dominating, has it on a string, and they go, well, hey, Mark, come over here, I want to chat to you.
It's a nice one to have up your sleeve.
It is. So,
like a
yeah.
reverse rocket.
But
in
at the
your
moment,
artillery.
it's McGuinness. McGuinness he has a role. He woke up Monday morning and he's like, yeah, I know who I'm going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just don't know quite which one yet.
Yeah.
Has to be Bolton.
I think so.
A couple of other things in the news before we move on is Dane Rampe is challenging his 2-match ban that he copped on Thursday night. So the issue with that, like you got Milligan's got a bit of a hammy. Mills, does that mean he goes and plays some defensive stuff again?
Who would?
He had to on the weekend.
He
as
hates
well.
Look, Mills was disappointing.
Very.
A lot of people bought
He's
him
got
in
71,
this week.
mate.
Yep.
You told me to.
No, I said go steal over Mills.
Couldn't afford it.
It's not my fault, is it, mate?
Like he was always a risk, but I thought he wanted to peel a little bit more than that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
He's
71.
just a shadow of his former self. The role is there.
Yep.
It's the ability at the moment that's hampering him.
Rochelle copped 2 matches for striking, and Jordan Boyd is off to the tribunal.
Rochelle went off.
Yeah, you got
He
angry.
did get. He was a very angry little fella.
I liked it, to be honest.
Make sure you keep clicking on afl.com.au and fire up your AFL Live official app for all the news as it comes through this week, because, as we know, news does drop all the time.
Too right, it
That's why
does.
we could have a 24/7 AFL fantasy channel.
Yeah,
I
it
reckon.
could.
This week, that last week, we could have been doing and live breaking news. There was plenty of it.
Yep.
This month, all kids 14 and under get to go to the footy for free.
Look, a tiger.
Selfies and screamers.
That looks tasty.
And you never know who you'll meet.
Oh, so fluffy.
Kids go free round 16 to 19.
Awesome. See you there.
We're down to 6 weeks to go, which means that we've got 12 trades left.
12
Is that all?
trades.
That's right, isn't it? Yep. 12
Yeah,
trades to
I
go.
got 6 times 2.
And will that mean that you'll get to a team that you're happy with?
Oh, no. Far from. I had 4 kids on my ground this week.
Yes.
Yes, you did, didn't you?
Down like at the little playground, Calvinator, with your team. That's recovery session. Go down, let's have a swing.
At least I'm allowed to go to playground stock. You've been banned.
Actually, I have found, and I'm going to take a photo of a place that resembles your team, and I'll tweet it out. I'm going to, straight after this, I'll drive home and get,
Okay.
Just thought of
I'm not looking forward to this, but yep.
All right, let's have a look then at players that we could or should be targeting in these last few weeks. Oh, let's look for this week specifically. Roy, defenders, where are you going?
So this is very, very hard for his owners to hear, but Sicily is now a good defender to look at, given the scale of hardness that has so many dark green games coming up for him. Obviously, 65 was disgusting, but I don't think he's going to cop many tags coming in this draw. So he's one you'd want to have a look at. Now, if you want a unique one, prior to lockout, he was 5% ownership. I'm an owner of this guy, and he's just about my best player.
He's good.
Or most likeable player. So Wanganeen Millera, so 8.34. That's still a cheap price for what he's dishing out. So the last 6 weeks, he's averaged 104.
Yep.
So he's one that you could consider if you want to go somewhere a little bit different, and he's still a lot cheaper than Sick Dog.
A lot cheaper.
Anyone else in the back line you guys are looking at?
Well, if you wanted to have that unique guy that's got a ceiling, we did see Dan Houston dominate on the weekend with 156. Had a couple of big scores around and about. His break-even's now 56, but he's at 825. So 156, but it was a 74 the week before. 124, 108, 59. Like, it's just a bit too up and down, isn't it?
It is, but his ceiling is there. Like you said, he can really go back.
What about value? Could you go back to the Rat? 576k. His break-even's now at 19.
Okay.
So he's coming off 122, but he still had a 103 last week.
Yeah, it's
even
really
under.
annoying me.
New coach.
What did Rat do for us? Apart from cause stress.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Got subbed.
Look,
It's just
He's killing it.
can we recommend you go back to the Rat?
no.
Yes.
You can.
I reckon you can Rat attack.
Rat attack again.
At that price.
Look, okay. I don't think I can recommend going back to the Rat. Am I allowed to go back to the Shees?
Yes.
Yeah, so obviously with the forward defender status, he's brought his break-even down a little bit to an 88 after his 112, but don't forget he had that 52 against Geelong. But do we give him a pass for that Geelong game? Because outside of that, it's the 112, 106, 98, 92.
Look,
that's a pretty
elite.
solid effort.
if Merritt can score an 80 and Parrish can score a 93 against Geelong, he gets a pass for that as a rookie.
Yeah. And he was playing out of position in that game.
So he was coming out of the fence last week. Am I right, Dog?
Yeah.
The Shees. So coming
He
up for
did
him,
move up a little bit.
he
got some CBAs.
He goes St Kilda, West Coast in his next 2.
Yeah.
That's
Good matchups.
Bam, bam. Thank you, man.
It is. So if he can go 112 like he did last week, he had a 112 with a 6-point quarter.
Cow, you keep banging on about North Melbourne's good draw. Defender mid, Bailey Scott. You said no.
I did say no to Bailey Scott. You know why?
Had 136, mate.
Yeah.
You didn't get that one right.
In your face, Calvin. Yeah. You know why? I wasn't sure which one he was. Right?
He's tough looking nugget.
He's good. He's very good.
Yeah, he is.
So, he had, 136, 98, 104. And then prior to his bye, he was still pretty solid there with 83, 92, 80, 101,
Look,
121.
He's 800K.
He's got a good draw. Yeah, he's just too much now.
He's
And that's
800.
why.
Yeah.
That's why you'd say no.
Jeez, he went bang.
That's why I said no, because of his price, Dog.
What about Lockie Whitfield? Could you go there or just too much risk?
I couldn't go to Whitfield.
I think there's too many others around at the moment.
Yep. There's plenty of others. Yeah, you don't need, no.
We'll talk about some rookies, and he's not really a rookie price now, but Corey Wagner, Roy, he got some votes
Bloody
there.
Wags. Seriously.
So he scored an 81. He's at 379, so break even of 4. One of the lowest there that you could be considering. But it's just the wrong price for this time of year
It
now,
is.
isn't it?
Yeah. You can't do it. But it's just frustrating watching these guys like him and Atkins.
Yeah.
When you knew what they could do, you get them in, you get nothing, they get dropped.
The
Here
old
they
rat
go.
attack.
Yeah, rat attack.
All right, let's have a look at the midfield then. And who's the first name you want to talk about, Destroy?
Well, Davies-Uniacke.
Yes.
So he's done it a couple of weeks in a row now with 138 and 122. He looks like the guy that people were picking at the start of the year to go into that top group of Uber premiums.
Yep.
I think at that price, it's ridiculously low.
Very low.
He's the most traded in midfielder at the moment too. So, yeah.
So
it's
fair enough.
A good option.
I think you can tick that off.
Most likely gets a little bit of attention from Windhager.
Well, that's a problem.
But I thought I flagged that last week.
Flagged it.
I'm not in charge of working out which players get to do the tagging.
No.
I do little flags to try to anticipate what I think might happen.
Yeah. So he deserves to be highly traded in this week.
Yes. Yes.
Jack Steele, just quickly. That's the other one, sort of those players at that price. Who would you go, Davies-Uniacke or Jack Steele?
Oh, God, that's a hard one.
It's got to be Jack Steele.
It's got to be Steele.
You've got to go Steele.
All
Will
right.
Uniacke play out every game for the rest of the year?
You'd hope so.
I would think so now.
A little question mark over
You've
that.
lost faith, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. He messed people up out here
Yeah.
for that game when he was laid out with a calf.
Late.
He has the ability to do it.
Yeah, he does.
Right. Who else you got?
Touk.
Yeah.
Touk's looked
Needs to be
great
talked
since
about.
coming back. And he had 14 CBAs under the new coach. 108. I think he's just a good price. At $8.30 for Touk, that's an absolute bargain. If you saw that at the start of the year, you'd be like, yes, please.
Yeah,
If it
he'd be
gets
a
down
lock.
to that, yeah.
Yeah, and he's come back well. So
He has.
there's enough there to say that he'll be fine.
Got a mega cheap roughie for you, too.
Yeah?
George Hewett.
Oh,
Now, hear me out here, because look at that. 452 he is. Now, his
Yes,
score
super
of
cheap.
74 doesn't look great, but that's his first full game for a number of weeks following that concussion. Now, I see George Hewett as a midfielder for Carlton. I see him as a 90 guy.
Agree.
So for that price, and he will be better for the run, had a quiet second half, but you would predict that given his recent history. So I reckon if you need to... people have still got Sheldrick just sitting there.
Yeah.
If you need to do that to put a guy on the ground, I think he, in the right situation, is someone you could consider.
agree. He had 17 CBAs.
Yep.
And that score of 74, he did it with 19 touches, 5 tackles. And who was it against? It was against Port Adelaide.
Yeah, hard.
One of the hardest teams to score against. So it's only going to be easier for him.
Yeah.
There is no excuses for people to have Matt Johnson on your field or your Sheldrick, all those guys on field when he's sitting there as a downgrade option.
Yeah.
You
Make a
make
couple of dollars
money.
doing that.
Yeah. And like I said, I've got faith in him. If he's back to his best, he's 90 plus.
Yep.
But as of this week, 85 plus, I reckon.
Yeah.
Which is solid.
Agree.
Any other mids?
No, that's it, I think. You've got a couple of top names there as well.
How do you feel about paying right up for dudes now?
I'm good with it. If you can get within reach of one
Of a Bont or...
without going too stupid with your other trade,
Yep.
you're locking that in. Same with Merritt, who dropped a little bit after last week's performance because he was over a mil there.
Yeah.
If you can get to him now, he's going to finish strong.
You've got guys like Bont who have a lowest score of 108 in his last 10.
It's extreme.
They are...
That's why you pay for him.
That's why you pay for it.
Yeah.
Coming off a 142, plays on Friday night, great vice-captain option.
Yeah.
That's why you want those
Like,
guys.
you mess around playing in the mud with like Mills
Yeah.
for value.
Yeah.
If you can get within reach of one of those big dogs.
Bont outscored Mills by 71 points.
Wow.
It's worth
That's why
paying
you
for.
pay
That
up.
hurt. It's
Yeah.
worth paying
That
for.
hurt. Now, one of the biggest talking points of the weekend was, of course, Max Gawn.
Max is back!
And he's
Rightfully
back.
so.
Max
Wow.
is back. That is exactly right. So, Brody Grundy was
He's not
omitted. We
back.
probably talked about him in the Carnage we could have done as players out, but meant that Max is the number one ruck again, as he was, and he showed exactly what he can do with that. Scored 162. Now, he's at $779,000. A break even of 48.
Yep. Look-
Okay. Yes, you can do it, is the simple answer.
Yes.
If you've got Briggs, tick, Roy.
Yep.
If
Big
you've
tick.
got Darcy Cameron,
Yep.
tick. If you've got anyone other than,
Sean Darcy was out injured.
Sean
Yep.
Darcy,
Tick.
other than English and Marshall, it's a tick. But is
a
there a play with an English or Marshall
There is.
to go to Maximus
Okay.
Gawnus?
The question is, how confident are we that we won't see Grundy again?
It'll be a bit of time.
Yep.
So Grundy had to go back to the VFL as such.
Yep.
They didn't have a game, so they had a scratch match, 14 on 14, and to work on his forward craft. As the commentary's all out there, he's not a forward.
No.
He's no Eddie.
Pretty
so
sure
he's got to go
that was
and...
the case when they drafted him.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure what
So,
the thought process
I don't
was
think
there.
he's... It's going to be at least a month. There's my guess.
The thing is, Melbourne...
But then that still has to... Everything's got to go right. He's got to get better at his forward
Yeah,
craft.
and Max's break-even's, 48, so
Yeah.
it's not like it's going to be hard to flick him back to someone good.
we're only a few weeks out from actual, not fantasy finals, but AFL finals.
Yeah.
So Melbourne need to be preparing for their finals campaign.
Yes.
Grundy's not in it. He's not in their plans. I don't think he... No. So what they're not going to mess around with over the next few weeks because they've messed around with it up until this point.
So Max wanted his number one spot back.
Yes.
They gave it to him and said, well,
What can you do?
show us why.
He had 92% time on ground, 29 touches. He had 21, the most out of everybody, contested possession.
Oh, it's beyond a joke.
Petrarca had 16, Max had 21.
So, like, when you're
He's
talking
just a
that
good
dog,
player.
so you're saying, the set and forget boys, justifiably so, they're awesome. But if that is your only access to a cash
to
grab,
grab some cash.
you're not just taking a punt on someone. You're actually getting the best ruck in the whole
So what?
game.
You can get 200K from one
All
of
right.
those big boys.
Here's your question.
It can be
Which one
done.
goes?
Yeah, that's the question.
Marshall or English?
That's hard.
What does the scale of hardness say?
Oh, geez, I hate when it always comes back to the scale, Roy. Sort of love it at the same time. Right.
Tables. Cow scale hardness.
Rightio. Geez, you put me on the spot here.
I know.
The scale
I like it.
is choosing between those two. I'm going to say it. I think English can go.
What?
Yeah,
Jeez, I was going to say
Even-
Marshall.
based on the scale.
Who do you stress more with Marshall? With
Maybe because of the Tom Campbell being named as emergency every week.
True.
And the fact that Marshall has been rested in games. What's happened once? English.
English has played every
It's happened
game,
twice
which is a
for
worry
Marsh.
as well.
Yeah.
One-
No, Marshall goes.
Once
Sorry.
he did
Let me
the
just check the
best,
scale again.
once he did a Butters sit out.
English has just got the biggest ceiling, really.
He does.
Or he's done it more times this year.
I think
Yeah.
Marshall had 150 last week, didn't he? 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marshall can go. I've just checked the scale again. Yep. Marshall can go. There you go. Bit colourblind
I think
over
it's Marshall still the goes.
here. I agree.
Yeah.
English is still the
Jeez,
number one.
it's a
ruck.
big play, though,
well,
to do that.
the
It is.
rolling 22 suggests that Marshall's the one that goes.
It's Marshall that goes.
Marshall goes. You imagine
I
yours...
think it was Marshall on top last week.
What? Of?
No, I don't think Marshall's ever been on top of the rolling.
No.
Oh, you've deleted it. I think he was last week.
No, he wasn't.
No, keep an eye on him. Keep an
Yeah,
eye on him,
no.
though, dog. He's a trickster these
I
days,
will.
I'll destroy.
He wasn't.
What about if you're just around the hat territory or you're coming in the top 10 and you're like, I don't think I can quite get there. Is this a move just to shake it up a bit?
No.
You don't think?
Oh, look, it's risky. If you were top 10, could you really pull that trigger? I don't think so. Could you?
Max comes out and has another 150 this week.
Well, you make a good point because finding points of difference to make a move in the top 10 would be very difficult. I know, I think 9 of 10 had the VC on English this week. So if you just said buy English,
So all of those,
Got
that
Max.
9 out of 10, and they're the good coaches, Cow, they took on your advice to go Goulden over English.
That's fine. They could do that. They were wrong. They were wrong for 75% of the game, dog.
Were they wrong at
love
the end of
that
the
way
game?
looking.
They were wrong. So they got lucky in the last quarter. It's as simple as that. If things were going to keep tracking, so in that game there, I watch that closely and I have, during the game, I do a graph.
yeah.
So I graph Goulden's score
Yeah.
as it goes along. I go English and I had Bonds, all in my different colour pens. No, this is a serious, dog, on my A4 bit of paper, grid paper.
Yes.
And what was happening was the way Goulden was tracking, he was going to easily be on top. Okay? But an anomaly in the graph in that last
You
quarter.
actually said that properly.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure. But it sort of just plateaued out. So it's not my fault that the way things were trending changed.
Who got it right then?
I did 75% of the time. All right? Just stick to that. So they got lucky, yes.
You're going...
They did.
Max, are you paying $200K more for Max and Xeri these days?
Yes, yeah. I just wanted to flag it. Some people were disappointed returning to the island and getting the 74.
Yeah,
but it's not as bad as it looks. He was in the toughest matchup, despite it sounding stupid.
I know.
Hawthorn is a very tough ruck matchup. He got his 74. He gave away too many free kicks, and this is the thing that is not uncommon. He didn't take a mark.
Yeah.
Because those Hawthorn ruckmen don't let you do it.
No.
So if you've got him, don't stress. I think he'll bounce back this week. But yeah, dog, we're not looking anywhere other than Max if you're moving in the ruck department this week.
Now, we're going to go to the forwards, but we'll still mention a ruck. Before we talk about the next player, I want to just mention Soldo, Cal, that you were nearly going to do. Nearly went there.
Nearly off the slide of my instep.
So-
I was going there.
Yeah.
And it was all locked and loaded
Yes.
until
Green machine.
the green machine went down. So he's only a 2-week play
Yeah.
Well, from now, yeah.
from now because Nank's obviously going to come back.
So he scored 107.
Yep.
Just dominated against the Eagles in that last game on Sunday. 41 hit-outs. Helped that sort of tick over, kicked a goal.
The flag on him
Yeah.
is he plays Hawthorn
Yes.
this week, which is
one of the two games.
one of the harder
Yeah.
games, which Xeri discovered last week.
Yeah.
I don't think he can do it now.
No.
You're not going to. You'll have a 70 or something this week.
Yeah.
Sub
And then you've got-
500,
yeah.
break even of 14, but you know that you're going to have to trade him,
Yeah.
Yep.
which is an issue.
A 3-week play I was okay with. A
Yep.
2-week with Hawthorn, one of the two.
Yep.
No.
You're paying a bit more for him now, $621K, because he did go up $59,000 this week. That's the son, Sam Flanders. Is he value at $621K?
Yep.
He is.
Yep. 11 CBAs.
Yep.
And once again, you see things like opportunities increase due to a number of reasons. This new coach coming in, Flanders, is going to have the best few weeks of his career.
Yep.
So he had a heap of the ball, 120. It's his second big score in 3 weeks. So one of them was obviously still with Jew, but I reckon he's going to come home like a steam train. Well and truly underpriced.
The small flag there is that it was against St Kilda.
Yeah.
For a 120.
Yes.
The week before he had a 67, which was a little flag again because that was
Yep.
against Port.
Yes.
So somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
It's not.
I'm not recommending doing it,
No, I don't think I could. I think it's a little bit too much for me.
but I also am not going to talk people out of
No,
it
you can definitely do it.
because he's underpriced.
GWS this week, one of the hardest teams to score against.
Yeah. Okay.
Small flag.
Yeah.
Every man has his price, though.
Every man
Australia
has his
forward.
price. I just think 620 is a little bit steep.
I think if that makes things work for you, I tick it for sure.
I might need things to work for me.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't say don't go there.
No, you can go there.
Obviously, the other premiums, they're just there. You just go
Yeah.
for them if you can.
Well-
Cogs is still, I would call value.
Yeah.
He's at $900K now. Is he value? But he's probably one of the guys that you
Yeah.
can trust,
Well,
I think.
a funny thing as well in Flanders' favour here is the faltering F6
Okay.
in the Roland 22, for example.
Yep.
Remember we were talking throughout the season there. It was 7 deep, really.
Yeah.
Like it has dropped off a little bit, and some of
Yeah.
that's due to Butters
Jack
losing
McRae
form. Yep.
goes and pumps out a 71.
Yep.
Bailey Smith.
So,
gone.
so I think you can have Flanders at the moment at F6 and not feel like you're missing out on some sort of Uber
Agree.
premium.
All right, let's have a look at the rookies then. Who's the one that's caught your eye that you might be able to go with?
Well, Jack Paris had 57. That's good enough for him. 13 touches, 3 marks, 4 tackles.
Good little
so-
stat line.
Yeah,
Worked hard
He
too.
was. He was good. He was quite
Very good early, I
So for 200, you can pay that.
Well, we're not looking for one to put on the ground at the moment.
No.
Anyway. Surely we're not going to have another round like we did just this past week.
Jeez, I don't know. Do you reckon we've got a few more of these rounds to come?
Might.
I hope we do.
Cooper Harvey at 263. So he had a 48. So he's gone a 63 and a 48.
Yep.
Just, yeah.
Well, he's going to keep playing.
Well, that's the thing. He will keep playing. Jeez, he took a tough mark late in the game.
Yep.
Man, that was impressive. But I don't know. They both should have job security, shouldn't they? Because well,
it's hard to pay much
not
more than
exactly
that as
killing
well, though, isn't it? Like Corey Wagner at 379.
Yeah.
He's got to be on your bench, and is that too much? But if you're in a luxurious position,
How long?
if you had Wilmot there at D7,
Yeah.
could you just switch him down to Wagner and make some coins?
How long's Young out for? Is that who he's?
Yeah,
that's
well,
who
the moon
spotted
boot.
is probably.
It was going to be a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
they
I
said.
think so. Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't go near him. Wags.
Do you know Jake Milksham is the same price?
Milkshakes bring all the boys to the club. Yeah,
He did in the last quarter.
he did.
Yeah, he
Didn't
scored 87, kicked those 2 snags. He was up and about.
You're right. It was a great goal.
Milky, it was a great goal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. So rookies, though, I think, is it a bit of a point of the season too, where you almost just jump on someone that's named?
Yes,
Is
it
it
is.
like that?
Yeah.
You only
Because,
try.
It is.
Yeah.
Because you say let your bench rot, Cow. That wasn't a real good advice for this week.
No, you let your bench rot, but if there's someone with a green dot, you're just taking it.
Yeah.
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 We don't care a lot about them anymore.
No.
They're not invited on the end of year
You'd
trip
prefer
anyway.
him alive and rotting.
That's it. Yeah.
Dead and rotting. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Right. Yep.
Right, early round 19 trades that people are pulling the trigger on. Jack Perris is the most traded in player to gain some cash, I'm sure, on the bench there. For some, like Luke Davies-Uniacke is a very good selection there. They're very super traded in players with Touk Miller, Cooper Harvey, Jack Steele, and then further past that are some of those big premiums. Like people are going the Bont, going the Cogs.
Yep.
Max Gawn is on that list as well.
okay.
People are going there, which
Yep.
is very interesting. The most traded out players, these are probably some that were missed. Tom Green last week, so
Yep.
people may have missed that one to do. He's out for several weeks, that the Giants said on their website. Sheldrick, Johnson, Wardlaw, rookies there. But
Yep.
Ben Hobbs as well, Cal. You're a Ben Hobbs owner.
I am.
Is he close to be going for you?
Yep, he goes this week for me, along with Matthew Johnson. So getting a rookie off the ground and bringing back Harry Sheezel.
Oh, yeah.
And George Hewett, Roy.
Yeah.
I am going Huey. Super Huey's back.
Does it
Interesting
hurt your
trades.
ego getting Sheezel back? Considering you saw him beat you on the weekend by the Warn Dogs?
No. I don't have an ego the size of yours, and it doesn't get affected as much.
Just bringing him in because he's a good player.
He's a great player with a great draw.
I'm getting out one of my favourites, Kieran Briggs and Will Ashcroft, and I am bringing in Max Gawn and Luke Davies-Uniacke.
Nice.
Right, I've got the choice of Luke Davies-Uniacke,
Yes.
but I'm going Jack Steele.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Fair call, fair
and
call.
Sam Flanders comes in. I know you're not ticking it off completely,
Oh, we
but
tick it.
he
We
comes
tick.
in as my F6. So Himmelberg and Johnson go
Berg?
out for me. Yeah.
Already? No relationship built between
yeah,
the two?
but that's where my team's at. I can get rid of some of these players.
Right, okay.
You got a good team.
He must be.
70s. I need more.
He's in the.
I think Sam Flanders can give me more.
Yeah.
He's in the 15,000K club. So.
15,000. Mate, I'm 70 odd points behind you, and I'm coming for you this week. I will take you down.
Let's see about that.
Got a question for the traders? Tweet the boys at AFL Fantasy or head to facebook.com/AFL Fantasy official.
All right, you can be hitting up Twitter, as Nat said there, at AFL Fantasy, but also our Instagram account at AFL Fantasy. We pop out there the, what do you call it, like a story?
Yeah.
You know all about Instagram, Cal, don't you?
Oh, fanatic. Instagram fanatic.
Selfie king, people call you.
You'd be good at them, I reckon. All right, here we go. Let's get into some of these questions. Vossi wants to know, are we back? No, not that Vossi. Is it better to trade one of Hobbs or Redmond to an Uber premium or trade both for Witho and Jacko? Luke Jackson, do you reckon?
I reckon.
Maybe.
Yeah. So basically,
yeah.
you split them, go a big dog and probably a downgrade,
Yeah.
or do you just go to two sub-premium dudes?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't have much faith in the two.
The sub-premium dudes.
Sub-primos.
No.
Do you have any faith in the rookie that would be coming in or who you'd be going down to?
Yeah, but unless you can go down to...
You might be getting down to a Hewett.
With a bit of DPP
You could
there.
do that with DPP.
Maybe you
So
could.
you could go Hobbs to Hewett, which would give the coin to put on top of Redmond.
You could
Yeah,
look
I'd
at
do that every day.
Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to do in a way here. So, yeah.
So Hobbs down
And the
to,
best-
even Hobbs down to Flanders could work.
Yeah,
You could do that.
That'd get you
I'd do that
200k,
one.
I think.
See, that's
Give you
a
a little bit.
situation where I would definitely say Flanders is a good option.
Because Lockie wants to know, is Flanders an option?
Yes.
In those
he
circumstances.
certainly
Well,
is.
it make you 70-odd K from Hobbs down to Flanders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's handy.
And getting a higher scorer, you'd think.
Yeah.
K Hughes, 999. Is cash gen still important? For example, aim for 2 to 3 players still making cash.
I think it's
Yes.
always important.
And it's cover as well. That's the
is.
other side of it.
Yeah.
Which there would have been people with donuts this week through listening to my advice of letting their bench rot.
So then that Wagner type thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you've got no defensive guy there.
Yeah. I just feel like in 2 weeks you'll be in the same
Yeah.
position. That's my only fear with Wags. Been there, done that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. These cheaper options, they're always still a daunting selection. Like a Hewett,
Yeah.
he could be vested at some point.
Yeah. I'm letting you know with Huey, though.
Oh,
He is clearly best 22.
yes.
If his injury and concussion woes are behind him, he is back to 90.
Right.
Huey, midfielder, Carlton,
Lock.
form team of the
He's
competition.
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Liam wants us to Isaac Rankham. All right, let's do it.
I love it.
Cogs or Doc?
Oh,
Jeez, that's tough.
I think I've got Doc slightly ahead on
reckon I've
scoring.
got Cogs. Doc
Gosh.
scored 88 on the weekend.
It was a bit disappointing, wasn't it? It's his first blemish
was
for
Port
about a
Adelaide,
month.
though.
Yeah.
There you go.
Who's Doc's got West Coast this week, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
God, he's not going to struggle there,
He's
is
not going to struggle there.
he? That is no wonder you've asked that question because that is a genuine coin toss
It is.
between those two.
Yeah, I think I'm going. I'll just quickly check the scale, but I reckon Doc's going to be pretty good.
Does Sicily go ahead of either of those guys?
Jeez.
Oh man,
I can't recommend the dog.
Nah, I'm not recommending Dog after that performance, although he will be good. Cogs' consistency has been outstanding. Man, oh man.
Doherty goes West Coast, Collingwood, St Kilda.
Okay, go Doc.
Yep.
That St Kilda
That's a-
game could give a big boost too.
And so's the West Coast one.
Yeah.
Liam also had Dunkley in there, but I think we wait, don't we?
Yeah.
We do.
Okay, we're going Doc, Cogs.
Yeah, we can get Dunkley in round 21 when he plays the Sun. So Dunkley, if he's back this week, goes Melbourne, Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
We've seen enough then. We can go him in round
Yeah,
21.
sit that one out.
Yep.
The next one here comes from Reed, but it's like a 3-1, 3-1D.
Yeah, nice.
yeah.
So it's like
Epic.
Epic. Yeah. Probably a surfer.
Tom Green.
Or a rapper.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Tom Green to LDU or Steel. So we did mention that it is Steel. Did we?
Well, you split it that way. You went Steel over LDU.
Yeah.
LDU's got
So
a
you're
good...
paying a little bit, aren't you?
Yeah, LDU's got that instant matchup this week
Which is
under
what
the
I
roof
liked
against the
about it.
Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he
Providing
probably
he
won't
Doesn't
even
get windy.
Well, he probably doesn't. You know, so...
Doesn't get windy under the roof, though. So.
No, good one, dog. That's not bad.
It was good. Yeah.
It got me so good. Never laughed so much in my life. There is a small flag that it could get windy under the roof.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's still, he's got form and he's got a great matchup. So
Yeah.
you could do it.
Jack Steele, I think you're just saying, has been the best player in the competition before.
And he looks back,
He does.
except for that first quarter.
Yeah, where he looked not back again.
So he's tackling, finding the peel,
Yeah.
doing all those things where I don't think he's going to break down like an LDU could.
No. Okay. So it's just
It's Jack.
Steele.
Alex wants to know, do you bring in Sarong or LDU?
So wrong.
Do you want to get him back?
He's on my bench, dog.
Yeah,
Held him.
Well, you do want to
That's
get
why-
him back.
that's
You're
why
not
you
going to
gotta-
leave him there, are you?
That's why he got.
He's barely put a foot wrong.
That's why Dog got away with beating me this week. I had all my team on the bench.
I'll get you sorted.
He'll be back this week. He'll be great.
He's
At
a lot,
home?
he's a lot more expensive than LDU, though, isn't
A
he?
lot more expensive.
I'm taking the value.
I'm
there.
taking the
There's
value
still
as well.
value. There's still enough weeks for value to be a big factor.
Yep.
I'd save the money.
Yes.
LDU.
Xavier sent about 1 million messages here, but here's one of them. Cripps, hitting form, is he an option?
He's cheap as, and he is in probably arguably, as I said, the form team of the competition,
With
leading the way in the midfield.
with a great matchup this week. He's at 718.
Like, it's a bargain, and he looked back to Brownlow levels on the weekend.
Yep.
A couple of times where he was sprinting, he had his pace back.
Running
So
on top of the ground, was he?
he was actually on top of the ground.
Yeah,
So,
right.
which about, I don't know, a month and a half ago, you could see he was sinking a little bit.
Running under the ground.
Under the ground.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't think we can do it, to
No,
be honest.
I don't think
but
so.
yes, he is underpriced.
Very
that's for
cheap.
Sure.
James got this one. Darcy Cameron to Flanders. So Darcy Cameron's likely to be back this week. However,
Yeah.
if he's at all hampered,
I'd still
you might
tip
as well
that
jump.
trade.
Yeah, you might as well move.
Yeah.
You're making cash.
He's not going to ruck as much as what he has
He's
been.
become very frustrating, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah, I'd tick that trade.
He's
off.
up against Lysett this week.
He's not running on top of the ground.
No.
And Flanders is.
He's limping through the ground.
Yes, he is.
There's been quite a few questions wondering if Grind Myers is an option. Well, he was the fifth most cash increased player of the week.
Yeah, coming off a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's definitely worth looking at.
Good morning.
You know, he's not just coming off a ton. He's coming off a ton, a 128 and a 98.
He's killing it.
The way he sees the ground
It's getting messy.
is
He
up there
assesses it.
with some of the best I've ever seen, if not the best.
He is playing very well.
He is.
No,
He's
I'm
had a
not
lot of
picking
goal
him.
assists.
He has.
I've heard that.
I'm not picking him.
No. But,
But
you know what? We
Tell
can
you what,
continue.
credit where credit's due.
Yeah,
He's
and
going very well.
And the joke can continue.
They can.
Poor old Grind.
Ryan's not crying about it. He's loving it.
He's having a great time.
Sure is.
Did you see him interviewed after the footy?
No.
Yeah,
what'd
they
he
talked
say?
to him about it. He loves it.
What'd
Yeah,
he
thought
say?
he would.
Yeah,
He
he
would've
loved
done.
it.
Yeah, cool.
Matthew wants to know, do we offload Butters?
Roy?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yep, if your team's in a position, it's in the works for me. I have a trade scenario other than the one that I like, where I mentioned earlier, bringing in Max and Davies-Uniacke. My other one is prepared to pull the trigger on him. So, yes, you can, dog.
So he's down to 850. He dropped about 50K this week.
Yeah.
Break even of 143.
Yeah. So, obviously, it's a name I'm also comfortable leaving there and not worrying about his price fluctuation because we've seen, apart from the last three or 4 weeks, what he can do.
Yeah.
And his role is there. But, yes, you certainly can move him on if you want.
If he'd played out that last quarter, he would have got a high 90 or a ton,
Yeah,
right? So,
100%.
and then we wouldn't have the conversation.
No.
Yeah, I'm with you, Roy.
Yeah.
Gordon Showers wants to know, LDU, Steele or Touk? So add Touk to that. Let's rank them then. Is it Steele at number 1? Yes. Does Touk go higher than LDU?
Look, Touk is 830. For 50K, you've got your LDU as value. I have
It's
Touk.
not much cash, really.
50K is not a lot.
No.
I'm taking Touk over LDU.
Touk
for
shackles
50K.
off with a new coach.
Back in the middle.
And one,
He's
just
had
like
2
Steele,
games
He's
now.
been the best in the comp before.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good 3. I like all of them, but yeah, we'll go Steele, Touk, LDU.
So would you have Steele ahead of Touk? So Jack Steele is the same price, 833. Touk's 830.
Jack Steele.
Jack Steele ahead.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm doing that.
Agree.
Yeah.
Henry, Keys, Butters or Mills to go? All right, priority of that then. I think it's Keys for me.
Yeah, he didn't get it done, did he?
70.
Yep.
It's his first bad one for a long time. His midfield clock was up.
Butters and Mills' roles.
He'll outscore Mills for the rest of the season. It's just Mills isn't worth anything. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
In this.
Keys can go.
Is it too late for Nasiah, Wangani and Namellara?
No, he's still cheap, really.
It's not too late because he's still getting it done and going up. It might feel like you've missed the boat because people paid for less.
But he's still people are bringing in Sicily. He's 100K less than Sicily.
Yeah.
Now, we're talking about tags. So a St Kilda defender could get tagged in their matchup this week, couldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Sinclair.
So it would be Sinclair still, you'd think, number one, but people will start. He's turning heads, I reckon.
Because they just want it in his hands the whole time.
Yes. And
no
so
matter what.
He does and they do.
Yeah.
And
so
he doesn't stop running to good space to get it.
So maybe his time's coming.
Oh, well, I would think so.
Yeah.
I'd start to look at him over Sinclair from time to time if I was going to try to shut one.
Good call.
George, Witho stitched me up calling for McGovern over himself.
Well, I was worried about that because I did see what
McGovern
McGovern
55, and Witho was on fire early. Ended up with an 83, so a solid game.
Gosh.
Witho, come on, mate. Back yourself in.
Look, that is disappointing, boy. Alex?
Go back and have a listen to that interview with him on the last Thursday night podcast. He was on there, so you can catch that back in the feed if you didn't listen to that one. Should Walsh go?
Well, yeah. Yes, you should. He's not going to be pushing for a top 8 midfielder spot. So, yeah, he could go.
He had a 76. Could match up this week. Does that save him?
Yeah, definitely something you need to factor in there. But even in his good matchups lately, in a team that's playing well, he's still only hitting 90.
Yep.
He'll be someone that I'll be starting with next year if he keeps hitting these sub-100 scores. He had no preseason and back surgery.
Yeah. So what is he at the moment? He's averaging still 98. Still high.
Yeah, people are talking like he's hopeless or something.
Just he's that not. Last 6 games
well,
or
he's
so.
He's not hitting top 8 premium midfield scores, which is what you want for the run home.
In his last 6 games, he has a high score of 91.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rocky Rambo, fellas, is Marshall to Gawn a play? Means I can go Himmelberg to LDU and then Keys to Dunkley or another premium the week after.
We did tick this off as a play for the bold.
Yeah.
The Marshall to Max.
But you know what I'd be doing? I'd be going higher than... I wouldn't be saving money for the next week's one. That's not a time I use value. If I'm sacrificing a big dog premium that's killing it for a cash grab, the money's being spent on someone bigger than LDU.
Yep.
It's like one of the big dogs. I'm going to Bont or Merritt or someone like that.
Ryan Mees got this one. Tick off getting in Cripper and Hewett. Hewett would then be on the pine and Cripps on field. Blues very easy run coming up.
Yeah, I don't think we want Hewett on our bench.
No.
You're in a very luxurious
That's too much money on your pine for that. It's $450K on your pine. That might as well be a Paris or a or Harvey or someone like that.
James wants Cow to call him the GOAT for bringing in Ratkins this week.
That is a GOAT effort.
GOAT move.
Well done, GOAT. Well done.
Yes, I'm ranked 15K.
Hey,
Warnie's there too, mate.
Don't worry. 6, though, didn't you?
Did.
A big 6. That one nearly went out of the ground.
He did, and he's coming for you, dog.
Where are you going to get better value here? Himmelberg to Doherty or Mills to Bont? Well, last week there was a lot of difference between Mills and Bont.
It's Mills to Bont.
It is.
There's 70 points difference just in this week alone. And I've had a quick look at my rankings for this week's vice captain, and Bont obviously plays on that
big one
Friday night.
Yeah.
Bont, English.
There's heaps there. Merritt, Parish.
God,
I'm just going to let you know, Bont might be towards the top, if not the top of the list. So yeah, Bont.
Yeah, Bont. I can't believe it. I'm looking at trading Mills as well. I've had him 1 week.
You're brutal.
I saw enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's brutal.
It is.
So they've got Freo over there this week.
Wouldn't matter if he had the Eagles, mate.
Yeah. Okay.
Champs wants to know, is Messi an option?
He's not an option. Messi's
doesn't score enough.
No, he's a good
scores a lot, but
talk
not
about.
enough.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be doing it.
No. Check your draft. Might be floating around there for a few.
Not anymore.
No.
But, yes, he is killing it.
He is.
Yeah.
Great season. All Australian, maybe.
All right, choose 2 out of LDU, Touk, and Josh Kelly.
LDU, Touk, Kelly. It's not Kelly. Roy?
He's good on the weekend.
It's Kelly's missing out on that purely because he can't be trusted at the moment after that 30.
He's 822, so he's actually cheaper than Touk, cheaper than Steele.
So he's been out twice with injury-related stuff this year, and he's been tagged to 30. Yes, his value. I'm a fan of him, but no. The other guys get it because of that.
All right, game over, boys. Let's call that quits and get ready for this week because guess what? No Thursday night games.
Oh, good.
There's no more, is there, at all?
No, for the rest of the home and away season, no more Thursday night games. So we'll be able to relax on Thursday nights, which there's no better way to relax than just to plug in your laptop or phone or stream it to your TV or however your kids do it these days and watch AFL Fantasy live on afl.com.au, the AFL Live official app. It's also on our Facebook page from 6:15 as we look at the teams when they get announced and give plenty of trade advice, all the news, and everyone's favourite segment, Galvin's Captain.
Got the nuffy this week too, dog.
Did you?
Yep, rolled him.
Just.
Yeah, so the
Bit
week
of Timmy
before.
T late in the game.
Yeah,
got you there.
it was 1 point the week before. This week, just a handful, but hey, a win's a win.
Win's a win, all right.
Win's a win.
Good coach.
Yep, sure
Good
am.
captain picker.
That's my
Just
job.
get your VCs in the right order.
I had them in the right order for 75% of the game. I don't know what more you want me to do.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you Thursday night.